Well, hello and welcome to the first ever mentor program video from eniGma, brought to you by the good people at tfgn.org or Two Fingers Gaming, and of course yours truly at eniGma. I'm your trusty host Forsaken, co-leader of the eniGma clan, community fortress writer, mentor program head, Two Fingers affiliate, and Tf2 community teams coach, also referred to as mom for some of you friendly kids out there. Today we'd like to show you the soldier. Moreover, what it means to be a soldier in the competitive field of Tf2. I will, for the most part, stay away from jobs such as aiming and anything related to the class at its core, and focus more on the class's roles in and around competitive play. I will post links to the proper guides for learning tricks, jumps, improving aim, and so forth towards the end, however. First off, we'll have to welcome the soldier. Soldier, say hi. As you can see, he can either be very organized or he can be very spontaneous. Not only is the character's personality accurate in terms of class correspondence to his taunts, but in the general game as well, he is pretty much crazy and disciplined at the same time. In that sense, he's a very diverse class, and he's probably the fulcrum for any competitive team. If you have bad soldiers, chances are you won't win. If you have good soldiers, you might do a lot better. Now, with that said, the soldier at its core is the most lethal class. I know this is debatable. In my opinion, for competitive play, he's the only class whose speed is variable to his health, and whose decisions can allow him to shape any part of the field he wants, regardless of what class he's dealing with at the present time. If there's a scout, he can advance on them with a quicker speed. If it's a heavier class, he can target him out and force him into the air. If he's in trouble, he's the only one who can jump out effectively. And he is just all around very diverse and capable of defending himself at close and long range.
With that said, we're going to get into some general clips for soldiers as a whole and explore some of the common knowledge things. If as a soldier you begin to realize that your opposing soldiers are playing increasingly aggressive and you don't know a proper method of countering, there's always sticking to the tried and true method of positioning. No greater an example than this clip I have of my own team, where, as you can see, when we get onto the midpoint, we proceed to take our places, pocket and roamer on crate, and hold for their aggressive play because they were continuing to do so. And as they send their first aggressor out, we deal with him with synchronization from not only another common theme for any soldier is the varying speed to which your class can apply itself to. One core thought for a soldier is you should never ever waste time. Again, I have another clip for you where we push forward onto the second point spire on Badlands, and my scouts call out that they have completely retreated through the building onto their last. So any productive soldier would initially hop the point as quickly as possible for a quick cap and regroup with the team, as such in the clip.
Primary job is to defend your medic and to enact any aggressive play as a team. You generally do this because as the pocket you may or may not, depending upon your team dynamic, have the most health. But that variable pales in comparison to the fact that you should always be with your medic. So any team-oriented push, you'd generally be the first guy out the door other than the roamer. Your primary opponents will likely be scouts or jumping soldiers. Not often do you see someone slowly crawling towards you. You may have a pyro coming from mid-fights or any kind of odd off-classing that occurs from mid-fights you may have to deal with, as it is your primary concern to defend your medic. Your aim has to be top-notch when it comes to not only air shots, but detecting jumping patterns for scouts, which isn't really a difficult thing to do. Once you've played enough competitive TF2, you should be able to have that down.
The best defense is often the best offense, and as such in any linear fight, which is often the case in mid-fights, a soldier will protect his medic from the front to allow nobody to cut down the angle on him and box off his medic. As such, often cycling comes into play where another class playing forward, which generally should play forward, like in this clip you'll see Toaster moving forward as a scout and cratering their team into their choke. However, he gets hit by a direct and is forced back, and as such we cycle my pocket forward to keep the forward defense up and allow me to work more along the front of the lines. And that is the common basis for cycling. A good pocket soldier is also a diverse soldier in the sense that he is aware that oftentimes, due to either respawns, positioning, or events from the other team, he will be out of his comfort zone in terms of his role on the team and initially take the role of the roamer. As such, in this clip you'll realize my team likes to take every opportunity we get regardless of any disadvantages we have. It was called out to us that they had a soldier flanking us. We decided to push forward and allocate one of our soldiers, namely the pocket, to watch it, as Toaster confirmed that, there was a soldier. Our pocket proceeded to kill the soldier and essentially not waste time and immediately take the role of the roamer and proceed to help the demoman cap the point as the roamer swapped up to pocket and assist me on the Grey Bridge.
Primary concern is being the aggressor for your team. You're essentially the primary workforce for your team in terms of whether or not anyone needs assistance, and your positioning is the largest variable of just about any player on your team, or at least in my opinion it should be. If anyone calls out for assistance, you're generally the guy because your class allows for you to move at varying speeds, as I mentioned before. So if there's an issue from, say, the choke on Badlands or the Valley, you're the first person who can get there with a single jump to assist whoever needs assistance. You are also responsible for cutting down the angle on your team. For example, at Badlands mid-fight, you might want to jump their crate immediately if you see that they are not readily prepared for their mid-fight, and cut down the angle and allow your team to get in and hammer out that choke so that they can't come through. You're responsible for chasing down anyone who decides to leave.
Now we're going to get into some common terms, deeds, and role responsibilities for the roamer via some clips of my own team. However, because of the fail-safes of YouTube, videos are required to be at least 10 minutes in length, so this will be continued in the second segment of this video, which will be uploaded right behind it, so there will be no delay. But yeah.